Mia Khalifa's story shows how predatory the porn industry is. In the realm of pornography, she's a household name. What is less well known is how Mia Khalifa got her start in the industry and how pornographic companies continue to benefit from her photographs without her permission. Mia Khalifa has become a divisive figure both within and outside of the pornographic community. She participated in roughly a dozen explicit adult films at the age of 21, earning $12,000 in total before leaving the industry, and she is now one of the most watched performers in the world with videos that are now over 5 years old. The problem is that she never sought the designation in the first place. Mia has stated that her brief pornography career was an impulsive act of defiance, but she understood the reality of her decision once one of her movies became viral. What is shared online, particularly on a tube site like Pornhub, has an indefinite lifespan. Consider that Mia Khalifa, one of the most sought-after porn stars of all time, was only in the profession for 3 months, but she's still renowned today thanks to an explicitly racist video she was allegedly forced to appear in. What does this indicate about the pornographic industry as a whole, as well as our culture as a whole? Mia has already expressed her misgivings about entering the pornographic industry. She has gained media attention in recent years after revealing how little money she makes in comparison to her status as Pornhub's second most popular actress. The public outcry was initially focused on her earnings, but as Mia talked more, it became evident that her professional pornography experience is an example of how the industry preys on young women. A note on victim blaming: even individuals who freely perform in and participate in the porn industry have no place in this movement for love. To bring attention to the destructive impacts of pornography, we don't need to tear other people down. No one deserves to be sexually harassed or assaulted, no matter what field they work in or who they are. Even for those who voluntarily enter the pornographic industry, mistreatment should never be expected as a result of their employment. We can do better than blaming victims of abuse. They deserve more. Consider porn's glamorous image in society and how people were likely unaware of or uninformed about the porn industry's often exploitative character before agreeing to perform in it. Mia has worked to intentionally distance herself from the mainstream adult entertainment industry, even though her social media content may be triggering for some who struggle with porn. As we discuss Mia and her brief porn career in this article, keep in mind that she has worked to intentionally distance herself from the mainstream adult entertainment industry. In a world where the porn industry is continuously glamorized and praised, her experiences and perspective are worth listening to and considering, regardless of her former connection with the mainstream porn industry. It is not necessary to agree with all of Mia Khalifa's previous or present personal choices to recognize that she has been and continues to be exploited by the pornographic industry. Fight the New Drug exists to expose the exploitation of the porn industry and the consequences of pornography using only science, facts, and human testimonies, not to control or shame anyone for their sexual choices. Mia's story. So, what's the real tale behind Mia Khalifa? How did she wind up in the porn industry? Mia Khalifa grew up in Maryland after being born in Lebanon. She worried about fitting in as a child as an immigrant and struggled with her weight until college. She remembers these years as a time when she didn't recognize or cherish her own worth. Mia was approached by a man who complimented her appearance and told her about modeling chances while she was living in Florida. She was showered with compliments and felt validated in a manner she hadn't felt in a long time when she visited the Bang Bros studio offices. The company, which makes explicit adult films, approached her about doing porn and offered her a contract. In an interview, Khalifa remarked, "I was approached at a very vulnerable period in my life. I went back and shot a scene, and while it was terrifying and temporarily gratifying, I felt a little empty afterwards. Though I still had a pit in my gut, itching to go after that affirmation. I guess the reason I went back and did it again was because I was worried the attention I was getting would go away if I didn't do what I was told." Mia clarified that it wasn't about the money or the celebrity. She wanted to keep her new side gave a dirty little secret, so she dubbed it that. Because there is so much porn on the internet, her family, friends, and acquaintances would never know, right? Khalifa's secret was no longer her own, as a video of her performing sex acts in a headscarf cemented her place in Pornhub history. She was apparently threatened by Issy's followers. Her personal information was leaked online, known as doxing, and she was estranged from her family, a relationship that is still healing. Maya admitted that leaving the industry after only a few months and a few videos in 2015 was an easy decision. She couldn't get rid of the moniker porn star, and she recognized that her 3-month decision would have long-term consequences. The unexpected fame of Mia Khalifa. Even though Mia Khalifa only worked in the mainstream porn industry for 3 months, a fast Google search of her name could lead someone to believe she was far more busy and productive. Page after page of films tagged with her name show, as does a website registered in her name that appears to be a personal pornographic website. But if Maya only appeared in a dozen videos at first, how come there are now thousands? When a performer gains a lot of attention, production companies might cash off on it by publishing remixes and repurposed video compilations, tagging any pieces they can with a well-known name. These techniques also assist the tube locations. Many pornographic video sites provide a download feature that allows users to store videos and re-upload them later with any tag or name they wish. This continual loop of films deceives viewers into thinking Maya has participated in new content, despite the fact that they may be duplicates. Without Maya's fresh consent, the cycle continues. While she confesses that she first accepted to the contract, she claims that if she had the chance, she would alter her mind. Rewriting her story, consider how many people around the world have regrets over mistakes they've made in the past. Isn't that true for the vast majority of people? The difference between the pornographic industry and Maya's life is that she will never be able to forget those 3 months. She isn't the only one who feels this way. 3 of Pornhub's most popular actresses are now retired or no longer active in the industry. They have no legal recourse for the inexhaustible recycling of their content or the removal of such films. Most artists are unaware of this until they sign on the dotted line. Make no mistake, it's been stated that many producers purposefully construct confusing contracts that artists are forced to sign before fully understanding them. Maya is clearly focused on rewriting her life story and cleaning her image, and her experience underscores the unscrupulous techniques used by some in the porn industry to persuade young people to perform. Maya said she made her own decision to sign her performer contract, but she conceded she lacked the abilities to recognize that she was being exploited. Porn businesses prey on vulnerable young women and legally bind them to contracts, Maya explained. Exploitation in the porn industry. Maya's recognition that while she was not physically molested, many women and girls have since contacted her and shared their stories of exploitation is perhaps the most crucial aspect of her speaking out. Some of the girls had been victims of sex trafficking, while others had been forced to sign contracts they didn't fully comprehend. Because the pornographic industry is so big, different people have different experiences. And Maya's story is only one of them. On set, not every performer is subjected to abuse, but some are. Although not every performer is driven by money, the majority are, leading them to remain mute during painful and demeaning actions in order to pay their fees. Some producers are supportive of their actors, but many others prey on young adults for financial gain. Some porn is created in a consenting manner, but others are not. This is possibly one of the most well-guarded secrets in the pornographic industry. The most difficult element of all of these instances is figuring out what is exploitative and what is coercive. The truth is that distinguishing between the two is impossible. What can be done when people become more aware that this type of exploitation occurs all around the world? Your power is in your decisions, in your clicks, in what you choose to see or not see. When it comes to the pornographic industry, our society is notoriously hypocritical. When ex-performers like Maya try to separate themselves from porn, they are ridiculed, but she is victimized nevertheless. Despite the fact that non-consensual photos, such as revenge porn, are illegal, they score high in searches on porn tubes. Our culture honors survivors of sexual assault but ignores the cries of mistreated performers. Yulia Degok, a columnist, has noted how our society dismisses pornographic exploitation. She expressed herself as follows: "Sexual abuse at the hands of music managers is a scandal. In porn, it is seen as a hazard of the job. We chastise the film industry for racially stereotyping characters, but barely blink at the wildly racist caricatures in porn, as though sexual desire mitigates any type of responsibility. It's past time for us to put a stop to the demand at its source and refuse to support this predatory enterprise."